Hello. If you were looking for ways to succeed in your pageant interview, you've come to the right place. I'm Dr. Stephanie Ray, a former national title holder, and I want to help you shine your brightest. When we participate in pageants, we are of course up there with a number of other lovely contestants, all women and all being judged to some degree on their appearance. For some, this is controversial. Whether it is or it isn't to you, we must be prepared to answer questions about women in general and our participation in pageants. So let's think through a few things. We want to be aware that we can be ourselves. You can say what you want to and offer your opinion, but make sure that you do not present your opinion as a truth or assume that all other women believe the same thing. You want to take into account a balance between what's good for women in general and what's good for you, and find a way to walk the middle line if there's any doubt about how those two agree. So let's take an example. I heard this question in a pageant once. Tonight you were judged on how you looked in a swimsuit. Yet there are some countries in the world where women can't wear swimsuits. How does that make you feel? One potential answer could be something to the effect of, well, the swimsuit competition is an opportunity for women to show their commitment to fitness, just like an athlete might, regardless of their gender, in other kinds of competitions. But I'm very grateful that I live in a country where I have that option. I wouldn't presume to say it's right for all women to be in a swimsuit competition, but I'm comfortable with it, so I appreciate having that freedom. I do realize, though, that there are other countries where women don't get to do that. I don't consider myself an expert on those countries, and I know they have certain cultural and religious reasons why they might not permit it in certain countries, but it does strike me as something worthy of consideration, especially in those countries where women are hardly seen at all, let alone in a swimsuit. My hope for them is that there will be increasing freedoms in their country. I'm thinking on my feet here, just as you will when you're in your pageant. So there might be ways that answer could be better or tightened up, etc. But what I want you to get from that idea is that I didn't suggest all women should agree with me, and I didn't outstrip my knowledge level. Acknowledge your limitations. Be open-minded, poised, and diplomatic like any queen would be. Let's take another example. I've heard this question in a pageant. Something to the effect of, legislation banning wearing certain kinds of religious clothing has caused some controversy. What role do you think the government should play in determining those kinds of personal preferences? An answer could be something like, well, in the United States of America at least, we have the freedom of choice. Like tonight at this pageant with the contestants wearing swimsuits and gowns of their choice. That's a freedom that not all women in the world have. Freedom comes in different forms. Clothing and fashion is a kind of freedom, and it's something that I appreciate here, especially when that clothing relates to your religion, which is a very important and personal choice. I personally don't believe that the government should be involved in that. That's something that we should get to decide for ourselves. So with that example, the question didn't even ask you anything about women. But in your role as a queen, you have the opportunity to bring the topic up yourself when it seems appropriate. So give this some thought. Be aware of the possibility of these kinds of questions coming up. If not in your interview, then from friends, family, coworkers, or in personal appearances. And be prepared. For additional tips on how to be prepared, look at the other videos in this series. And do go to PageantToPhD.com for additional resources that'll help you shine your brightest in the pageant and beyond. I'll see you over there.